guys, my name's Alyssa, and this is your Virgo MC. I just feel really earthy today, so this is just the Taurus MC. I just really feel like doing the Virgo Midheaven because, yeah, I just do. So, Virgo Midheaven is your 10th house cusp. So, if you know nothing about astrology and you're here because you're a Virgo and you were born in August or September, this video is not necessarily for you. You can, if you know your exact birth time, you can just type it in and it makes it really easy into like astro.com or Cafe Astrology. There's a link below. You can go there, find out what your midheaven is. 10th house cusp. Count the cusp. It's 10th. It's the north part of your chart. Now, I like to start off with your IC, which is your 4th house cusp. So it's your major angle of your home. And when you have a Virgo midheaven, you have a Pisces IC. Virgo MC, Pisces IC. You have a Virgo midheaven. I already know that you're very critical of everything that I say. It just is the truth, and that's okay. You're watching this and you're like, I'm not quite sure if Alyssa knows shit about what she's talking about. So you're going to analyze the shit out of this video, and that's okay. I'm already prepared for it. I'm going to throw a bunch of things out to you. Take what you want to take from it and don't. That's really up to you. And if you have a Virgo MC, I hear it from you like every day because this is also your online persona. On the internet, you are just highly critical of things. Okay, so we're going to start off with your IC, your Pisces IC. So Pisces is this very subconscious sign. It's a very beautiful sign. A lot of musicians are Pisces, a lot of artists, but it's kind of out of whack. Pisces is a wise sign. It's very wise. It's very old soul, but it's a little bit cray-cray. Okay, so I would say that you grew up in kind of a cray-cray situation. It was like when you were born, you were thrown into a situation that you didn't understand, and you might be the youngest child because your older siblings might have really had a grasp on it and you just didn't. You're not necessarily the youngest, but it would be something like that, where you were born and there was a lot of shit going on you didn't know about. And by the time you started figuring out what was happening, it was almost too late and you were kind of caught in a fog. You also probably had parents that really wanted you to like them. They wanted you to like them so badly that they may not have disciplined you in ways that made sense to you, or even disciplined you at all. Because you could have been caught in the middle of a custody battle or something, because obviously I said it was already going on. They might have been divorced when you were 4, and you were constantly going between houses of your parents, and they didn't want you to choose the other one over them. So they were just very nice to you. And it causes you to be that way in your own families and things. You don't want people to hate you. You really want people to just like you because Pisces is so nice. So the closest people to you you might actually be way too harmonious with them. You might try way too hard to make them like you, and you don't actually end up speaking your mind. And that was what you were afraid to do with your parents. You were just afraid to talk to them because you didn't want them to think you sucked. And so you were their little child. You were their little boy or little girl. You did nice things for them. You did good things, and you did not want anybody to hate you at all, as they didn't want you to hate them. You noticed then that around you everyone was being really, really likable and really beautiful, and you were just kind of like, oh, I'm in this dream state, and I'm in this dream world, and I don't really know what's going on. I don't really know how to have a foundation, but I have what I have, and I'm used to it, and it's what I know. So things were, I can't say they were chaotic the way that Scorpio would be chaotic. Things close and personal to you were just hard to understand. And you were very sensitive to things. You kind of picked up vibes around you, and you realized that you just wanted to be liked by people. And so if you weren't liked, and if you could tell that someone was just mad at you because you didn't do what you were supposed to do, that you could just tell they just didn't love you anymore. You could feel this disconnect of love. In that way, a lot of times you can grow really cold to people. And in another way, the people closest to you as you got older, those family members or the people that you loved, when you could feel like you get into an argument and you could feel that they didn't love you, you would try to make them love you, try to just be nice and just to not worry about what you said and be like, oh, you know what? I didn't even say that. I'm really sorry. That's not what I said. And just like brush it off and just let it, pretend like it never happened. And then when somebody doesn't let it go and you can just feel it, you just get cold because you're like, oh, I gave them everything. I made sure they were happy. And what you don't see is that you didn't make them happy. You pretended like it didn't happen to try to make them like you. And not everybody's going to like you. And sometimes people lose love for you. In order to understand and how to be a better person in a relationship, you have to understand that your instincts are not always right. Some people don't care if you like them or not. And you just really deeply care. You are very psychically aware of whether or not somebody likes you. You don't need a cold heart. You can just move on or work it out. Actually be okay to have the conversations with people. Really try very hard to converse with people about what's bugging them. Don't let it go away. Don't walk away from it. You need to accept it and embrace it. Face it head on, which is scary for a Pisces, I see, but it needs to happen because Pisces wants to escape family drama and you just can't, because it makes people upset and hurt by you and you think you're just doing the best thing for everybody and you're not. You don't get to escape and come back and expect everything to be okay. It just doesn't work that way. And you can't run away forever. So remember that. Okay, now when you're around 6 years old is when you develop your ego conscious. So it's like where you belong in the world, and it's how you're going to treat people and how people are going to treat you and what you want to be seen as. And it's also your online persona. It's like what you give off to the world. So like I said, when your MC's in Virgo, you're very critical of the world. You're very critical of yourself in the world. You're a huge critic. You're analytical and logical about things, and you want people to think that you are very smart. It could be because as a Pisces I see, you didn't get told you were smart a lot. And you're like, you know what, but I am smart. I'm highly intelligent. I pick up things all the time. I am very smart. I want people to know how smart I am, and I want that to be what I am. I am intelligent. So say you're on the internet and you're typing, you're going to be a grammar snob and you're going to make fun of the way people spell things. You're also going to play the devil's advocate. So you're that person who's on YouTube who just says the other thing. You're like, oh, no, well, that's not true. I don't do that. Or, Alyssa, I wish that this video was 25 minutes long because you really left out a lot in the 5-minute video. And so I'm going to just blow holes in everything that you had to say. That's what a Virgo MC wants to do. Virgo MC also, you don't want to feel stupid. So if you're watching this video and I make you feel stupid, it's going to make you fucking mad at me. So you're going to tell me how mad you are at me through ripping apart the things that I say, ripping apart the quality of my video, ripping apart my hair, my makeup, the way that I talk, who I am, what I'm doing wrong. And you're going to be mad at me because I'm telling you about yourself and you don't think that that's okay. You feel like you need to tell me about myself because it's your public image and I'm fucking it up right now. As I was traveling the internet, but when I first started making videos, there were so many videos on a Scorpio ascendant. And some Scorpio ascendants have a Leo midheaven and some have Virgo midheaven. And I noticed that a lot of these videos are made by those with the Virgo midheaven because they really wanted to get across like in this very analytical way. Because when you're talking on the internet, you're not talking using your Scorpio ascendant here. You're using your Virgo midheaven. It's just you are a Scorpio ascendant, but what you're giving off is very Virgo. And so as I was watching these videos, I was like, I get you're talking about Scorpio ascendants, but you're saying it like a Virgo. And why the videos needed to get out there is because that Virgo midheaven of you needs to explain in detail, needs to explain. And sometimes you're very boring. You're not exciting. Now, if you're a Scorpio ascendant with a Leo midheaven and you're giving this off, you're like pumping it out into the world and you're like, I'm a Leo midheaven and I'm so excited about my Scorpio ascendant. I am such a Scorpio ascendant and I'm going to tell you all about it. And if you're a Virgo midheaven and you're talking about your Scorpio ascendant, you're like, I am a Scorpio ascendant, and these are the things that I do as a Scorpio ascendant. It's very logical, and I'm very much a Scorpio ascendant, and I use logical terms, and I'm quite boring. And Scorpio ascendants are not boring people, but when you get out into the world, people put that on you. They call you boring. And Virgo, because Virgo is just painstakingly routine. One thing at a time, in order, practicality, rationality, things that make sense. And so what you need to do with your Virgo midheaven and how you go to work, and you might have, depending on other placements, you could have a bunch of different careers or you could have one, but you're trying to find something that you can change, that you can make right, that you can take this mess of crap, this mess of Pisces and escapism, and you can just write it out, and you can make this normal, and you can make people understand it better because you feel like you logically understand things, because you are intelligent and you want the world to know, and so you want to tell people what you figured out. And not everybody's going to get it, and not everybody's going to get you, and not everybody's going to like you, and you may not be used to that, and it's kind of frustrating. But then when you do get used to it, then you're like, fuck all y'all, this is who I am, and that's good. And I want you to be that way. You want the Virgo midheaven to be a fucking Virgo midheaven. You want the Virgo midheaven to analyze things because they are the best at administrative work, at working out the details, painstakingly going through everything and really truly understanding it. If it wasn't for Virgo midheavens, my videos wouldn't have gotten better because you pointed out the little flaws, and some things were just like, I don't care. Other times, it's exactly what I needed. Learn not to get mad at things that make you feel mediocre. People didn't want you to hate them in your close personal circle, so they were just so nice to you. You might have had a delusion of grandeur, that you were just so great. And so you went out into the world and expected other people to treat you that way, and other people just treated you like you weren't great. That you weren't exciting. And you are exciting. You are extremely gifted. And it may not be in the way that you want it to be. You are extremely gifted, and your purpose in your career is meant to analyze, to logically think out things, to write. Imagine the Virgo qualities, and that is what you're supposed to do. You have routine. The Pisces I see, when you're home in your home life and what you are, it wants to daydream, but you're the only person that can tap in to that Virgo quality and being able to make money in the most logical ways possible. Sometimes the Virgo midheaven can get too caught up in their Pisces I see. This childhood full of delusion, full of not knowing what you're good at, for being told you're good at things you're not good at, and being criticized for things that you were good at. People didn't know how to make you the best version of yourself because they were more worried about themselves. Now that you're aware of who you are, go out and be that best version of yourself. Criticizing other people on a regular basis. And honestly, I know exactly what you're going to say to this, and because I'm going to tell you, you're not going to say it because you want to be the devil's advocate. But when I say, I don't care if you criticize me because you're a Virgo midheaven, you're going to say, you obviously do care because that's why you're saying it. Okay, go ahead, think whatever you need to think about this. But the one thing I want to say is that criticize to an extent because people need to be critiqued, but get off of it after you said your thing. Continually criticizing other people's work does not give you time for yourself, does not give you time to dream, does not give you time to create, does not give you time to carry out the things that you need to carry out. And how amazing is it to have that Pisces on the ground here, that Pisces I see, that Pisces in the 4th house, it's so creative and dreams that they can do anything. And having that Virgo MC that allows them to carry it out strategically. And just because you feel like somebody doesn't like you doesn't mean that they don't like you. It might mean that they're mad at you for a second. And you don't have to write people off before they write you off. You need to learn how to network. Be the best version of you. Stop trying to point out why people are the worst version of you. And you'll go far. Okay, bye.